Hey guys, today is Friday, April 6th, 2012. The markets are closed today, but I wanted to first go over in our weekly wrap. I wanted to go over the ES futures, and today these were open for a couple hours, and non-farm payrolls came out well below expectation, and basically the market went the futures market went down slightly over 1%. And I think they were open for maybe 2 hours or so. So what I had just kind of drawn here is, like kind of a mini head and shoulders pattern. I was kind of looking at this on the SPY, but sometimes the SPY had actually made a new high, so it kind of threw this off. But basically, if you take the distance from the head to the neckline, the top of the head to the neckline, and you duplicate this line to where we sort of broke down, this is your minimum target for it to be a true head and shoulders, and that puts us at about 1350 on the ES futures. And if you kind of see where that coincides over here, it's right around this level. Slight chance we get down to 130, 134-ish, but let's look at this on the SPY real quick. SPY, you can see what I was talking about. This actually made a new high. But if this thing breaks down, you're still kind of looking at the 50. You might get a little bounce from there, but you have this gap fill from 137 to 138 area, 138 and a quarter. So I think this is probably where we're headed on Monday, and then from there we'll have to see. It could be 1 or 2 days down, and then maybe we do a pierce of the blue 50-day moving average. We look for a bounce up, and then I think at that point we're probably in a sell the rip kind of trade, where before we've been buying the dip. Anyone who bought the dip on Thursday or Friday, Wednesday or Thursday this week is probably going to get punished on Monday. So now at that point, if that's the case, if the dip buyers do get punished on Monday, and then when this comes back up to retest this level, this 140 area on the SPY, then you're going to get a lot of people who are going to be selling that, because this will probably act as previous support, acts as resistance. So Monday will be interesting. I'm actually mostly short right now. In last week's video, we talked about CRM. I actually never got in this because I never got up to the previous high that I was looking at, this 160 level. I was hoping for it to get up to 160. Never quite got there. So I actually did not enter that trade. What I did enter in this week, though, is a 645, 650 bear call spread on Apple. So I have sold the 645 and I bought the 650, and I think I got around, I'm trying to remember, I think about 280, 285 for that. And taking a little heat on it right now. I think I got it on this day when we had this kind of gap up in this spinning top candle. That's when I picked it up. So I'm actually probably about even, slightly down in the trade now. But again, these are April options. So if we do get kind of a pullback in the market, Apple does pull back, I'd probably look to get out. I probably won't hold this until expiration, but still looking for, basically Apple to chop sideways and stay below 645 by April expiration. So another name I was looking at this week, I never got in because I did not want to buy, but this looks like a great long setup. We had this in Amazon. You can see we had this kind of triangular pattern breakout. We broke above the 200-day moving average. We pulled back, and we're basically sitting right at the 20 and right at the previous triangle trend line. So if we do get some pullback in the market and this thing can kind of hold in here or even get down to the 50, like kind of in the middle of the triangle, I would actually look to get long Amazon. And I would probably do that with some May calls at that point. Probably, I'd have to look at the option chain. I haven't looked at that yet, but probably something. I'd probably go slightly out of the money and look for a retest of the 200-day. So I might go with like the 195s or something like that. Not really, wanting to sell any bull put spreads yet, because we'll see how low this goes. If this goes at the bottom, then maybe I'll sell something down there. But right now, I'd be interested in buying some calls if we get down to this 187, 188 area, or if this holds and kind of consolidates here around the 190s or the low 190s. That'd be a good long play. What I did pick up on Friday we actually picked this up in our service, were some Oracle puts. We took a small position in Oracle, and basically Oracle had this earnings pullback, and I had actually gone long into earnings, so I made a little money on this pop, and I got stopped out pretty quick. I trail stopped some of it, dropped down, basically came back up, and we're sitting at a 382 retracement that coincides with these moving averages. So if I do a fib retracement down here, you can see we're right at the 382. Managed to close above it yesterday on Thursday, but you can see we're still below the 200, and the 20 is kind of starting to roll over here. So I'm actually I'm holding Oracle puts at this point, basically looking for a retest of these lows and potentially an extension to the 27 extension if we break that, which would put us right around 2780. So I'm also short silver. With a bear call spread, I sold the 32.34, I think. So you see my red line. This is the strike that I sold. I took a little heat on this earlier in the week. I sold this around this level. But again, this is dropped, so this one's going well. Again, these are April options. I'm looking for silver to stay below 32 for the next couple weeks, which I don't think that's going to be a problem. One other trade that I'm not in, we'll see how Monday opens. I would like to get short on Walmart. This is a similar setup to the Oracle trade. Not as clean, which is partly why I didn't get into it, but I wanted this to get a little bit higher for me to get in some puts. I was actually trying to get in at this 618 level, and we never got there on Thursday, so I actually missed this. So we'll see, for those that, if this thing does kind of stay below this blue 50, you might be interested in a trade for Walmart WMT moving back down to about 58.25. So that's all I really want to cover today. Again, the markets were closed today. The futures sort of tanked after the jobs report. So we'll see if there's any other news out of Europe this weekend that would kind of further the selling. One thing we need to keep an eye out is, Bernanke came out or the minutes came out, but Bernanke even not too long ago came out and said the job picture is not quite there, and they may be willing to step in. And so you can hear a lot of talk about QE3 on the table again, which I think it is on the table. It doesn't mean they're going to do anything, but this will keep the markets from actually crashing too far. So I don't think we're going to roll over all the way down here, but we could be retesting this 1340 area or 134 on the SPY. I think first target is, let's see what the 50 moving average does, and then again, if we kind of get a bounce up, you might look to go short at that point. So hopefully that helps. If you guys have any questions about options or anything else, let us know, and we'll talk to you later.